made a little bit of money. I paid this cover.
Hey everybody, it's been a while since I did a video. I'm starting a new series now. This is Nicky T's Top 10. I'm going to be giving a category out, and then from there on I'm just going to count down the top 10 of my choices, my own personal opinions. So if you don't like it, leave a comment, let me know what you think I should have put on my list. If not, you could always just like the video if you like it anyways, Anyways, so for the very first video, I was thinking of different things. I know Spartacus, War of the Damned is coming to an end, and I really was looking at like an article, and they were talking about villains from Spartacus and how awesome they were, and how you actually kind of started to feel for them, except for Tiberius, who everyone feels like, he kind of died way too easily. But anyways, Spartacus was a good TV series and with awesome villains, so that's why I decided to do the top 10 villains in movies and TV shows. Number 10. I chose Darth Maul because it came down between him and Joffrey of Game of Thrones, and I was like, hell no. I just kind of brought it together. I said, whoever would fight, if Darth Maul versus, King Joffrey, it's obvious who would win that. So I decided to give Darth Maul the number 10 slot. So the reason for this is because, Darth Maul isn't much of a complex character in Episode 1. Of course, they fleshed him out in the Clone Wars previously. But, he's not, he wasn't really his story wasn't really told much in Episode 1. He's had like, 10 words the whole movie. So I mostly chose him just because of his look. His look and like his kind of appearance. The Jedi were just like, holy shit, what are we gonna do now? So that's pretty much why I chose Darth Maul. Number 9. I chose Megatron from Transformers. The reason I chose Megatron for number 9 is because in the first Transformers movie, you really, he's pretty legit. He's obviously the strongest out of all the, Decepticons. He's the only one who can really fight Optimus Prime, and they really made him a good character. Revenge of the Fallen, I kind of felt like they made him kind of a pussy, and he was just not as powerful as he was to me in the first one. So that was kind of iffy. Of course, they kind of brought his character back in the third one, but he was still kind of like, Zeta Prime's bitch. So, Megatron, his character has kind of changed throughout the movie series, but through the TV show and stuff, he was always, the big baddie. So that's why I chose him. Number 8. I chose the Witch King from Lord of the Rings. And the reason I chose the Witch King is because it was originally going to be Sauron, but Sauron was like, he obviously isn't as bad as he used to be now that he's just a giant eye in a tower. I mean, he still controls all the dark forces of Mordor, but he's not as he doesn't have a physical presence, and that's why the Witch King really took that spot. Although, he kind of got killed by a woman in a hobbit, but it wasn't them, it was the blade that Number 7. I chose Marcus Crassus from Spartacus Season 3, War of the Damned. The reason I chose Crassus is because he's such like a perfect villain. In a way, he and his enemy Spartacus, like the two leaders of these forces that are going at each other, like they're the same people in a way, and so they're always like contesting each other's thoughts. One is making this like a plot out, and then the other person can like detect it because it's exactly what that person would do. And he's just a good character. He has got a good story. His son is dead now, so that's good because nobody liked Tiberius in the first place. But hey, what can I say? Number 6. One of my favorite anime TV shows ever is Dragon Ball Z, and the best villain, in my opinion, is Vegeta. Vegeta is he's always so angry at stuff, and the best thing about Vegeta is that his story is so cool. He at first he's sent to destroy Earth, and now he is you know a good guy, and he's best friends with the actual main character. And when Vegeta first shows up with his friend named Nappa, they're like going at it with Goku, but Goku just pretty much wipes the floor with him. Well, actually Goku completely destroys his friend Nappa, but Vegeta and Goku go at it for a while, and they have like this really like intense they're frenemies, they're nemesises or whatever the hell you say that. They're not, and they're still not complete friends, you know? Even after like 4 seasons or I don't know how many episodes, like 300 episodes, Goku and Vegeta are still not good friends, and although they need each other to pretty much save the Earth, it's just it's a really good story that really drives the plot of the anime, and in my opinion makes it the best anime I've ever seen. Right behind, no, in front of Pokemon. Number 5. This was where the hard decisions actually started coming down, because now I'm picking the top 5 best out of all of them. And so I decided to go with the Governor from The Walking Dead. And the Governor is, when you first see him in season 3 of The Walking Dead, you think like, oh, this guy's a nice guy, He's kind of like what Rick is, And then as time passes, you start to learn that this guy's pretty fucked up. And he goes from being this, really kind-hearted guy to being crazy and psychotic. And although, Rick is going crazy as well, he's not, psychotically crazy as the Governor is. And so they're kind of the same characters, but like opposite at the same time. And that's like the best thing is you have to have the protagonist and the antagonist. The main protagonist leader and the main antagonist leader are the same but enemies at the same time. It's kind of the thing of Spartacus I said earlier. Spartacus and Crassus, they just mixes so good, makes a great plot, great story. Can't wait to see season 4 where what happens to the Governor. It's gonna be exciting. Number 4, another Spartacus villain, Quintus Batiatus. Oh my gosh, this guy has probably the best quotes ever. He's played by John Hannah. Oh my, he is the perfect actor. And him and his Batiatus and his wife, Lucretia, who is Lucy Lawless, who is, oh my gosh, she's the best actress I've ever seen. They're together. They make this duo of just terrible, and it pushes the limit so many times to the point where you're like, holy fuck. How the fuck did that happen? And how the fuck are they having sex right now in front of me when they just, murder that guy together and oh jeez, the best crew ever. But I mean, Batiatus, like I said, he has the best quotes you ever heard. If I'm saying this right now, if you like blood, gore, and sex, Spartacus is the show to watch. Watch it. I suggest you watch it really quick because the last episode's coming and you can be ready for it. And this is gonna be. I just miss him. I really do miss Batiatus. He really did a great job with the prequel and the actual TV series Blood and Sand. So I hope they kind of show him in the last episode, and that's all I really have to say about him. Number 3. Now number 3 and number 2 kind of go back when in a few years ago. So for number 3, I chose Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi franchise. I honestly, that's my favorite Spider-Man superhero movie I've ever watched. Even better than Dark Knight, honestly. It works so good, and I forget the actor's name, but the actor behind Doc Ock, he's so good. Like, if the new Amazing Spider-Man does a Doc Ock in it too, they gotta get this guy to do it, because he was excellent, and he looks exactly like the Doc Ock comic, and he gave this personality to Doc Ock that you never thought Doc Ock had, and with those big robotic metal machines. Probably the best like superhero supervillain fight scene ever when like they're fighting on the tower and then fall into the train, and just excellent writing. Unfortunately, Spider-Man 3 couldn't live up to the name of Spider-Man 2, and well, we know what happened. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Number 2, in everyone's top 10 list, there is this guy. You all know him, you all love him, and now, since the prequels, you know his story. And I'm talking about Darth Vader. Showed up in A New Hope before it was actually called A New Hope, and then Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and now he's just a giant cultural icon. You can't meet a single person who doesn't know who Darth Vader is, or Yoda. Those two are probably the most recognizable out of the whole series. And Darth Vader, he's had a really tormenting life, and the one thing he actually loved, he killed, and that was his wife Padme. So, it was a very sad life. It wasn't too terrible. I think he made it more sad than it actually was. And then, just to add on top of that, he gets his limbs cut off from the one guy who calls him his brother. And so, I never knew this, but when he gets like burnt and stuff, he has like a respiration thing that allows him to live, and that's why he can't use Force lightning. And so, in a way, the only thing that's really keeping him alive is the Force and the suit combined, because he actually has pain. He feels pain every second of every day. He never stops feeling pain, even when in the stasis chamber. Then that kind of adds to his character. Not many people know that, but you kind of makes you feel like, whoa, holy shit, this guy's in immense pain every second of his life. Who else? I mean, who wouldn't be an asshole? So, I gotta say, Darth Vader for number 2, and that means number 1 has got to be a very, very good villain to top Darth Vader, the Lord of Darkness, on this scale. Number 1, Heath Ledger's The Joker from The Dark Knight. Oh my. The reason he is number 1, and I shouldn't have to explain this. This should just be number 1 on everyone's scale. The reason he's number 1 is because he is so menacing and so just great of an actor, Heath Ledger. Well, Heath Ledger's, he's a good actor, and he's a good-looking man. But the Joker is so menacing and just so dark, and just a great villain for Batman. And it's such a shame that Heath Ledger, rest in peace for his soul, because he was my favorite actor, and he'll always be my favorite actor, just because. And before he was my favorite actor before him too, before the Joker role. But the Joker just made me love him even more, and I just hate that I couldn't see him come back. I feel like no villain ever will top his performance, and I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I sure do. So, this was my very first top 10 episode. I'm going to be making a lot more of these. I don't know when I'll be making more of these, and I don't really have any good ideas. So, if you guys have any good ideas, why don't you send them my way, and I'll probably make a video of them. And not only that, but I will also post your channel name onto the video as well as who came up with the idea. So, subscribe, watch more of my videos, because I'm gonna keep doing this, and it's all for you guys. So thank you, and good night.